Therapy is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just give me up. Back, mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and Word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the Word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the Word. You see the title, we about to get into it. But before we get into that, let me get it to the chat. Bronze, what up, though, my bro? Appreciate you, Nine. Appreciate you. Rach, what up, sis? What up, Nine? Appreciate you. Rudy, what up, though? I hope you good, man. I see you done changed the name up a little bit. Hope you good, Rudy. Shout out to Rudy. Hey, man, I just wanted to pop up here real quick. The link is pinned if you want to come rap about this real quick. I ain't going to be on too long. My anniversary is next week, not next Monday, but the Monday after that, 31st. But me and the wife going to celebrate it this weekend. So I'm going to be gone, probably come back Sunday. You never know. Me and her might go live while we out. And she, once she mentioned that, like, oh, we should go live. And I'm like, no, I ain't want to go live. But, She said we should, so we might go live. It'd be me and the wife. But if that don't happen, I ain't gonna be on here. So I said, let me come holler. Yesterday I was tired. I was dirt ball tired. So yeah, I ain't come on there. But lessons that life has taught me. And there's a lot, right? There's a lot of lessons that life has taught me. And I'll be watching on here and in real life. And I see people experience things and I'll be like, well, they ain't learned that lesson yet. Maybe it ain't for them to learn, right? But I always share that because people have shared with me different aspects of life they learned about. And I think that's important, right? What up, though, Ragamuffin? Appreciate you. But I think it's important because we all can learn from one another. So a lot of the you hear a lot of people say cliche concepts all the time, but they never tell you how to apply them. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. So I think the number one life lesson, the number one lesson life has taught me is life has a lot to offer, a lot of different experiences to offer, right? But what it guarantees is two things: is guaranteed suffering and guaranteed death. Right? That's what life has taught me, and in understanding that, I've learned to take full advantage of life, live life. Because I only get one. We can talk about reincarnation and all that. I'm talking about this life right here, right now. I only get one. I get one chance at it. So live it, experience it, and with the suffering, I learned that, that's guaranteed. There ain't nothing I can do. Everyone will feel some form of suffering. And that just made me appreciate the great times, the good times. The good times start turning to great times. It made me appreciate it more because that's not always guaranteed. Because if you constantly focusing on the suffering, even when you experiencing the good times, you don't recognize it. You're too busy suffering. So it helped me appreciate the good times, and those good times turned to great times, and I was able to use those memories of those experiences to kind of weather the suffering aspect of life. I'll give you an example. One of the greatest sufferings is losing a loved one, right? And over the years, I lost a lot of people. But for some reason, every time I start thinking about how much I miss them, a memory of us having a good time pop in my mind. And I'm no longer sad, I'm happy. And it happened, I used to force myself, right? Because you always hear that, oh, they wouldn't want you to feel like this, they wouldn't want you to feel like that. And it's true. So I start thinking about the times we had, the fun times. And now I guess I done practiced this so much, it's innate. I automatically do that. Bud Files, what up, though, fam? What up, though, fam? Hope the family good. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, so I can't help but to think about the good times I had with the person that I lost. And when my time come and go, I hope that's how people, when they think about me, I hope that's how they think about the good times we had. And I hope that put a smile on their face. I wouldn't want nobody to think about me and be sad. No, I'm straight. Now think about me and laugh. Like that motherfucker was crazy. he no matter what he went through, he found some way to laugh and smile. Like my mom, like even my condition, my mom, I joke a lot. People who've been rocking with me, I always tell little blind jokes, that's my condition, man. That's just life. That's my reality, right? I can't really see that well. So, I mean, what I'm gonna do? Cry about it? I'd rather laugh about it, So, I make jokes of it all the time. My mom can't stand it. She can't stand it, but I be making her laugh though. She laugh at him and she be like, I can't stand you. My wife do the same thing. But that's my pain, man. My pain turned to muscle. I'm able to look at what hurts me and that heals me at the same time. So. But yeah, that's what I learned. Suffering and death is guaranteed. So make the best of both of them. While you're living, make the best of it because you're going to die. And while you're having good times in life, make the best of it because you're going to suffer. Two guaranteed things. But they don't have to define you. And that leads to the number 2 lesson I learned in life. Always define things. I learned that a little later, but define things. Understand why you're doing things, why you want things. Understand why people are in your life, why people ain't in your life. The more you define things, the better decision making you begin to have. You begin to make better decisions because you have a deeper understanding of what you actually desire. Let me give you an example. You ever buy something that you really wanted, and when you got it, you didn't even really care for it no more? It wasn't what you thought it was. But before you had it, you desired it. I know people was like, dang, I want to go, you know what, Rach? Every time I see that question or somebody asks me, I always say the same thing. I just go back and be like, man, just keep being you. As though I wouldn't, if I gave my younger self any advice, that to me, I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be who I am now. Probably would have lived another path, went a different direction. And I accept all my good with all my bad. So I just tell them to keep being you. Just keep being you. Keep fucking up. Keep fucking up, man. You will learn one day. Because without all them times I messed up, I would never gain the desire to learn. And like just, especially when I was a kid, just telling me something wasn't good enough. You had to definitely show me. When I was younger, you couldn't tell me nothing. I want to see it. You would have thought I was from St. Louis or something. Yeah, you'd have thought I was from St. Louis. Yeah, every time I see that, I used to think about that deep. Like, I'll tell myself this, tell myself that, and then I'll be like, and then I got older. And the older I got, the more I realized, like, I wasn't telling nothing. Keep being you, man. Keep being you. I told you you'll be all right. You gonna be all right, man. You gonna be good. You gonna be all right. Just keep being you. That's what I tell them. You gonna be all right. Because I went through some shit, and I didn't know if I was gonna be all right. But if I would have heard that, it would have just gave me comfort. I'm ignorant. I'm a bull, so I always fought through adversity. Not saying that's, because of the bull. That's more because of my family. That's just how they raised us. All of us like that. All my cousins on my dad's side from that generation, we all ignorant to failure. We just don't care. We will keep failing until we succeed. We just keep going. No matter what hit us or knock us down, we get back up like it ain't nothing. All the boys in my generation and up. I say the ones below us too. Definitely the ones below us. They got the same attitude. They don't give up. We just keep going. Like damn Energizer Bunny. when things, that's when it pop in. The question was, how do you remind yourself of the important lessons life has taught you when things get tough? I give you another thing too. In the moment, man. Be in the moment. You gotta be in the moment. Because in that moment, even when the times is tough, you gotta, it's hard, and it takes practice, but you have to identify things. But to do that, you have to be in the moment. Like, even why do I feel this way about the situation? Even in some of the moments, like when I stop and ask myself that, situation don't even be that big, man. I be thinking about what can happen or what will happen more than what's happening. When things happen, we get that initial punch, but then we start thinking too far in the future. Like, it's gonna be like this, it's gonna be like that, it's gonna be like this. Like, imagine if your bank account get hit, right? Then you start stressing about, I can't pay this bill, I can't pay that bill, instead of being in the moment. So once I'm in the moment, and that's basically me controlling my emotion, then I can think. And now I can think back on those life lessons. Because a lot of times when we go through stuff, we emotionally go through it. We don't consciously go through it. That happens later. We first experience things through emotions. Every incident, like, think about if you just listen to something, somebody say something, you triggered. What is that emotion? If somebody hit you, I'm pissed off. That's emotion. We experience life through emotion, and then that's why later on, after the experience is done, we start thinking about, was that the right way to handle it? Was that the wrong way to handle it? If we can start using our mind as a filter for our emotion, that's what discernment is. The emotion is the intuition, the initial reaction. But the discernment comes with understanding the emotion, understanding the intuition. That's where discernment comes from, is you interpreting the way you feel. You interpret the way you feel to give you a better way to think. Yeah, most people got a problem with being in the moment, and even like my second point I was making, like, the life lessons, to define things, you have to be in the moment of it. You have to be able to and like I said, that's the best way I can tell you to probably get it done, is you have to, like, we have all these things accessible to us, but it's the way we look at it, right? We don't look at our mind as a filter. But you know what a filter is. You know what a filter does. It has benefits, right? That's why we filter shit. It's to keep the bad stuff out and allow the good stuff to go through. That's how our emotions are. Is a good aspect of it and a bad aspect, even if you want to say negative and positive, right? So using your mind, you can filter and get the positive aspect of the emotion rather than the negative aspect. For instance, how hard is it when somebody talking crap on you to think about their intention, why they doing it? When you're hearing all this negative stuff, it's hard to think, like, why is this person doing it? Because a lot of times people trick you out your spots, right? Especially on the internet. People will do things to put you in a position. And if you can't think that quick, you're going to be put in a spot. You're going to react versus respond. I had to learn that early in life, running around in the street. Like, once I seen somebody set somebody up, like, oh, this shit real. Like, people really do this. You see it on movies, but when you see it in real life, it hit different. And so I'm talking about as a young, probably 13 years old, when I seen my first setup. Everybody supposed to be cool in the same crew, but they wanted to get one person out, so they used a chick. And these the older people. I'm young hanging around them, and I'm watching them do it, and I'm like, damn, they really set that dude up like that. He fell for the bait. So I learned that at a young age. Be in the moment. You got to analyze the situation while it's occurring. It ain't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Not the way I came up. It just wasn't good enough to react. You had to respond. Sometimes you had to walk away. Because if you didn't, that might be the end. You impulsively react. That might be the end. So I had to learn that at an early age. So being in the moment, and like I said, it'll be different for different situation, different circumstances. It's hard. It's hard for you to just sit there. That's why a lot of people can't meditate. Meditating is you're in that moment when you meditate. Most of the time when people sit down, they start thinking about the future or the past. Most people can't just sit there and observe what's going around them in their environment. Like when it's nice outside, just go outside, sit down in the grass, on a bench, wherever. Just sit down and observe what's going on around you and block every other thought out. Nothing about the past, nothing about the future. Just observe what's going on around you. Use all 5 of your senses to intake the moment. A lot of people don't do that. I find great peace in that. I'm telling you, I find great peace in that. Just being in the moment, man. And that's how I learned gratitude, which is my third point. So it's important to define things. And let me give you the, sometimes, I'm not going to say sometimes, but the best way for me to define things is to gain knowledge or a minimum understanding of things. Look at things not objectively, but subjectively. Look at it from a pro and a con aspect. Look at the good aspects of something because everything has positive and negative. And don't put it on the scale. That ain't for me to do. The less things you put on the scale, yeah, just don't put it on the scale. I ain't gonna give you that aspect. But yeah, don't put things on the scale, man. Let things weigh themselves out. Judging things can give you a misperception of it. Judging people really can give you, because people can change at the drop of a dime if they choose to. They have the desire and will. People say, "Oh, people don't change." Well, that's because they don't want to. But it is people who change the drop of a dime. People can recognize their errors and stop it. Just because I'm not capable of something, I never put it on somebody else like they're not capable of it. That'll be number 3 right there. I think that's one of the things a lot of people do too. They put jackets on people that don't fit. A lot of times people tell you their thought process or the way they break down things by the way they project it onto other people. They're telling you more about themselves than the other person. Especially like when I hear people use terms like can't or won't, I'll be like, that's you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Just because you won't do something, just because you can't do something, don't mean I can't or I won't. You're the only one picking my brain today. I appreciate that. I love my brain being picked. That's what it's for. I mean, other than that, everything up here will be gone when I'm gone. So take what you want. That's how I look at it. Take what you want. But yeah, don't That'll be number 3 right there. Right? Don't limit others to your limitation, and don't allow others to limit you to theirs. You know, that's one of the things I learned. Like, because people will often do that because they're not capable of something, because they're unwilling to go through the fire. You know, they assume that you're incapable or you won't do it too. And I ain't telling you to go out there and prove yourself to nobody. I'm saying don't you allow them to limit you. And I'm saying don't limit other people. You don't know what people are capable of. You really don't. So by doing that, for me, it always limited my way of thinking. You know, because even thinking somebody ain't capable of it, you're not even giving them the opportunity. Like, it's good to feel like we know everything, or we know this, we know that, but we don't. You know, life is too broad to know everything. You know, what works for one person may not work for the other, and what works for the other may not work for the one person. That's just how life is. That's why you got so many similarities. Like, even when you talk about religion, when you talk about philosophy, they all have similarities. They ain't the same, but they all have similarities. You know, we can get to the same place traveling in different vehicles. We can get to the same place traveling in different vehicles. But when you limit people to your own limitation, to me, it just never benefited me. Dee, what up, sis? Appreciate you, sis. Yeah, and believe. We'll go to the next point, right? The next lesson is, I'm not even gonna say believe people for who they are. You know, I say accept people. Once you see how a person or who a person is, accept them for who they are and understand what comes with it. Right? Everything comes with something, right? And understand what comes with it. And if you can't tolerate, or if you can't function properly around it, get away from it, you know. But everything comes with something. So just accept things for what they are. And things are subject to change, right? People, you know, when I married my wife, my best friend at the time, he passed away now. But he told me, he said, you should have said I do 5 times. He said, because that'll cover the next 50 years. Because she go change every 10 years. Different things go be more important to her, you know. So he said I should have said I do. And when he said that, that was so profound to me, because I'm like, you know, you're right. People change with time. You know, as we get older, even think about that. When we're young, a lot of things we don't worry about. But when you get older, those things are more important. Your health more important when you get older. What you gonna leave, your kids or family or loved one, when you start thinking about that. You know, when you're young, you don't really think of, well, I ain't gonna speak for everybody. But when you're young, oh, Blackout, what up, though? Blackout come through with the fire, get the brother, appreciate you. Hold on, man. Let me rock out real quick. Hey, shout out to King Blackout. He just gifted 5 memberships. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Bug Files, who got one of my favorite people. Then Tech Soul, what up, though? one of my favorite people, 755 Media, and well, she ain't in the building, but one of my favorite people, Tora Hayes. Shout out Tora Hayes. I don't think we had the honor of having you in the chat yet, but shout out to you. And Robbie S. I think Robbie been through before. Appreciate you. King Blackout, one of the great supporters over here. Appreciate you, brother. You made these last couple months easier for me. You know, I ain't have to come out my pocket because of you and a couple other people, man. I greatly appreciate that, bro. You make this a lot easier. You make it more, you know, I got a whole wife, and anytime I spend money on stuff, you know, she be on. Anyway, you made this a lot easier, bro. Appreciate you. Is there a quote, book, or person that taught you a lesson you'll never forget? Oh, yeah, definitely. A whole bunch. Confucius. Confucius. And Buddha. A lot of Buddha quotes. You want me to quote some? I'll give you the most defined quote that I heard in life. I share that because these just, you know, life lessons, but something somebody told me. It was my pop. You know, it was my pop. He told me having a positive mental attitude about things will not only help you overcome fear, it'll help you enjoy it. Having a positive mental attitude. He told me it won't only help me overcome fear, but it helped me enjoy it. And what I took from that, even at a young age, he told me that when I was like 16. And once he defined what a positive mental attitude was, what that did for me was anytime I felt fear, I got excited because I understood it was an opportunity. Because that fear just alerted me that it was something big about to happen. I didn't really feel fear. But when I did, it kind of, I ain't gonna say crippled me, but it threw me off. But when he hit me with that, I enjoyed it because I knew it was something, an opportunity was presenting itself. My fear became more like an alarm or an alert. And that was through sports, though. You know, that was through sports. I'm not going to say like fear in real life when I was fearful of stuff, but having that positive mental attitude, it did eventually translate into real life. It did eventually translate because I can say when I got stabbed and the way it tore my pectoral muscle, it damaged some nerves. And the doctor told me I wasn't going to be able to lift my arm over my head. And when I did, I stuck the middle finger up at him. And I was like, because he told me I wasn't going to be able to do it, but just having a positive mental attitude didn't allow me not to try. It didn't allow me not to try. Even now with, you know, with my eyesight and stuff, that's why I'm able to rock out the way I do. You know, does it bother me? No, honestly, it don't bother me. I mean, I don't even remember what it feels like to have my full eyesight. I didn't adjust it to it and accepted it. So this is my life, man. So I can't remember how it was. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, my pops, man. Man, my pops told me so much stuff about life. And I was the type of person, like, I always listened, but it didn't resonate unless I needed it. You know, but there's a lot of stuff I stored in the back. And as I got older and I matured, I started practicing. And when I would repeat it back to my dad, he'd be like, I didn't think you was listening. And I'm like, I was listening, I just didn't do it. But now that I'm older and now that I'm mature, you know, I know the benefits of it. You know, like I said, life gives you two things guaranteed: death and suffering. But you can use both of those to your benefit. You know, understanding like duality, that's another thing that changed my life. You know, once I understood the concept of duality, I no longer looked at things as positive or negative. I just looked for what existed. Because in every positive is a negative, and in every negative is a positive. So they both exist simultaneously. It's just how you perceive it. Like when you look at anything in life, my grandmother, as she was getting older, right, we was always doing stuff for her. She said, I don't want y'all running around for me, you know, taking time out y'all life. Y'all can be living, but y'all trying to live through, you know. Mentech Soul, what up, though? What up, though? She was like, y'all can be out there living life, but y'all, you know, here with me. And I'm, you know, and I'm like, no, this is the experience. You know, this experience and, you know, spending time with her. You know, she was like, no. She said, I didn't live life, you know. She said, now it's time for y'all to live life. And she told me, she said, sometimes when old folks hold on too long, they hold the young folks back. And I never, like, that's my grandma. I don't care about none of that. You know, I want to spend time with her and do. But now that, you know, I'm a father, I realize what she was saying, you know, because one day I'm going to get old and then people asking, well, like, you know, I don't really want my kids. I want to spend time with them and stuff like that, but I want them to live their life, man. I don't want them worried about me. You know, I don't want that. I want them to live their life. So when OG told me that, you don't want to hear that. That's a pillar in your family, you know. But I understand now, you know, and that's selfless. That was selfless of my grandmother. You know, I was definitely selfless of her. And been busy. Oh man, I hate to hear that, bro. A lawsuit? That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's what happened in the entertainment business, bro. That's what come with it. Everything comes with something, and even that, right? Everything comes with something. That's why it was important for me to begin to define the things that I desired in life. Define them, understand what they come with, what they don't, what the benefits are, what the detriments are, understanding aspects of it. You know, the older I get, the more I look into it, you know, look into things. Because with experiences, you learn one thing, you don't want to keep having bad experiences. That's what happens when you gain from experiences. You realize, like, okay, if I did my due diligence a little better, a little more, this wouldn't happen. I could have did it this way, but you don't know until you experience it. But after you experience so much, you already know. You know what I'm saying? You know. But yeah, so I ain't gonna lie to you. I had 5 in mind. I forgot the other one. I went off track a little bit. But okay, don't put jackets on people to find things. I'm in my mind right now. Oh, I was on accepting people for who they are. That's what I was on. So yeah, and I do that because, I learned to do that by accepting myself. I learned to accept other people by simply accepting myself. I done said before, the power of accepting your situation or condition gives you the power to change it also. Knowing what you did in your past put you in your present situation or condition. Now you can make better decisions and be in a better situation or condition tomorrow. Even if you had to dig yourself out the hole, you good. Even if you dig yourself out the hole, you had to dig yourself out the hole. But yeah, so accepting, not only people for who they are, but accepting yourself, man. I don't think a lot of people accept themselves. I think a lot of people, and when I can honestly say I've been guilty in the past, when I was younger, of doing so too. It's not faking it till you make it, but we all like to think highly of ourselves, right? We like to think highly of ourselves. So a lot of times we will inflate things. That's what people do. A lot of times people will inflate things to make the situation or circumstance more grandeur. Try to make it more than what it really is. We like to think highly of ourselves. But as I matured, I realized, like, man, just accept myself for who I am. And that way I can redefine myself if I desire to. Or just define myself in general. You ain't even got to redefine yourself. You can just chisel out more. Because if we already think we better, we ain't gonna try to do better. We think we already there. If I want to work on something in life, I can't already think I'm there. I gotta know where I'm at. I gotta accept the spot that I'm in to get better. I can't think I give you an example. When I wanted to work on my vernacular, right? I knew different languages. I'm like, oh, I got an extensive vernacular, and then I'm like, actually, I don't. I know what a lot of words mean, but that's just through reading. I need to understand the functionality and operation, so I start studying words so I can put them into sentences and be more concise with my speech. Because at that time I was in school and I'm hearing how people talk, like people talk different. And I like that, I like that. Because with understanding the concept of words, it expands the way you think. Like really understanding what a word means and how it can be used and utilized. Because a lot of people know the definition of words, but they don't know the functionality of a word. So a lot of times people just say things and don't know how it actually functions and operates. And learning that, it changes the way you think about things. Like even the word use and utilize, they're two different words, but people use them synonymous, but they're not. Use is to use something for what it was created or made for. Utilize is to find another functionality that it can be used for, meaning using it other than what it was created for. That's what utilizing something means. But people use those words synonymous and they're not. Diane, what up, though, sis? Appreciate you. Yeah, I ain't gonna be on here long. I gotta get up early in the morning. I just wanted to come through and do a quick live. But yeah, just like use and utilize, like just understanding the concepts of those words and how they function, not just the definition, because a word can be used or have a different meaning depending on what it's applied to. Like you have words in standard, like using it standard in standard conversation, but some of those words may have a different meaning in philosophy or even in science. In psychology, that word means something different or have a different definition at minimum. But if the definition changed, the functionality of the word changed, the operation, the way. And then you have different aspects of the word, if it's used as a noun, a verb, or an adjective. So understanding, that's why it was important for me to understand the words. But yeah, accepting yourself. My bad, I keep getting off topic. Accepting yourself. And when you do for yourself, it'll be easier to do for other people. Because it's like the other night when me and Ozzy was talking, and I mentioned treat others like you want to be treated, right? I think the understanding of that, like everybody, they understand it, but they don't comprehend what it say, right? So when you hear treat others like you want to be treated, people think that you treat others the way you want to be treated, and that's a fact. But how do you want to be treated? Now we got to go a little deeper into the concept. How do you want to be treated? Most people just want to be respected and loved for who they are, right? So that saying means just like you want people to accept you for being you, you must accept other people for being them. So to treat someone as you would want to be treated, you will want to be treated as you are individually. So you have to respect them for their own individualism. That's what that means. That don't mean because I'm like this, I'm going to treat you like this. That's not what that means. But that's how people utilize it. that's how people utilize it. That's how people utilize it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Anybody got any more questions? Rachel, you got any more questions, sis? If not, I'm going to log my butt off. I'm about to give me some sleep to that. Yeah, I did. I had to think. But yeah, I just wanted to leave y'all with that. I plan on actually having a slideshow, not a slideshow, but with because I had 5 points, but my kids didn't give me time to make nothing today. They was literally like, I don't know, they just like climbing over me. They like jumping on me, climbing over me like I'm a playground or a play skate. That's how they treat me, like I'm a play skate. They crawling up my legs and around my back. I'd be like, bruh, like what if I was little? Y'all wouldn't even be able to do this. They be wanting me to lift them up with my arms. I'll be like, I'm happy I can do that when y'all kids. My son 5 though, he a big boy. Big Nicks, what up though, bro? Appreciate you. Yeah. Well, yeah, if ain't nobody got no more questions, man, I'm gonna go and get out of here. I'm gonna go and get to getting. Shout out to Blackout. Appreciate you, bro, with those 5 gifted membership. Shout out to Rach for all the questions. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be gone for the next couple days. Probably Friday, Saturday. I might be back Sunday. I don't know. And if the wife want to go live, then we'll go live. But yeah, we're gonna be out. We're gonna be chilling, maxing, and relaxing. I probably won't even look at YouTube, honestly. I'm gonna be chill. But man, y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are conversations to build nation. And if I say anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, we's out.